About 300 wounded to lift, if that's what you mean. And those are just the aliens under my jurisdiction. Human survivors number about 200 more. Where are we going to put them? He asked idly, glancing up at the gleaming orange sky where radiation danced in pale blue patterns. What about that message, son? He asked the young com-tech in the dome. The interference isn't clearing, sir. I still can't get through. The boy's head lifted. And I can't raise Captain Stern either. He doesn't answer my comm beam. Strick glanced down at the scowl on his slender companion's face. We'll give him 5 more minutes. Her pale green eyes swept over the carnage and the ruins of the small gem-hued shops and marble streets to the wooded area beyond. If anything's happened to those Centaurian diplomats... She sighed heavily. The Council would have had a bloody war of its own holding the Holconcom back, in any case. Now, with 2 of their own people involved, there's no way. Which means we'll finally have a chance of winning this damned war, he told her. Amen. She watched the medics loading casualties into the self-propelled transparent ambulifts. Watch my boy, Strick. I'm going to find Stern. Holt Stern strode out of the green tangle of the forest into the clearing where the main settlement had been. He brushed aside a spiny moga tree, and a ripple of pain shuddered down his arm. Holding it, he glanced around the camp at the neat rows of prefab medical domes where his medical specialists were concentrated. The personnel were familiar. He knew them. But something about the maze of green uniforms worn by the Strategic Space Command disturbed him. His lapse of memory disturbed him more. It was as if his past life were gone, and only the present remained. And the throbbing in his temple was especially unpleasant. A rustle of leaves made him freeze at the edge of the forest. He turned to find the face that went with a husky feminine voice. Madeline Russell paused beside a drachma tree. The exobiology chief was flushed with fatigue. Beads of sweat ran down from the mass of auburn waves at her temple to the corners of her full young mouth. She frowned up at him, marring the Grecian delicacy of her face. "Are you okay?" she asked professionally. "Yeah, sure. I just took a pretty hard blow in the temple. Fell over some wreckage." He glanced toward the forest, and a hand went to his brow. "I found the Psy-Akio group. Their ship crashed about 70 meters away. Better send out some lifts. The Rojoks left them in pretty bad shape." "Crashed?" Her pale eyes widened. "Stern, the spheres?" "I didn't take time to check," he said flatly. "The diplomatic observers are damned near dead. Better get moving before they're all gone to glory." "On my way." She eyed him. "Stern, the observers. 2 of them were Centaurian, weren't they?" He took a minute to answer. The sound of the word gave him sudden chills. "I only saw 1. Like I said, I didn't take time to check too closely. Move out, will you?" She started to say something, but she turned suddenly and broke into a run toward her medics. Stern strode quickly toward the com-tech's hut. "Report, mister," he said. "Still no luck, sir," the boy replied. "Even with my boosters, I can't even weed out the interference between here and HQ. There's no way to get a message home until it lets up." Stern's eyebrows jerked. He turned his gaze to the camp, carelessly observing the medics. Sensations tugged at his memory, but they were too vague to grasp. The sight of the bodies, mutilated by massive doses of radiation, didn't affect him at all. Not even those of the children. Why should it, he thought? They were only clones. Duplicates of a dozen alien races whose originals didn't have the guts for a colonization attempt in the new territory. "Sickening, isn't it?" Dr. Strick Hansen asked, ambling up at his elbow. "The last hope of a war-torn galaxy, gone down into the dust of treachery. How long did it take those 10 planetary federations to agree to this? 5, 10 years? It only took the damned Rojoks 1 solar hour to atomize it." "Stow the poetry," Stern told him. "This is a rescue hop, not a—" "Sir," the comtech interrupted, "I've got a bogey. She's 2 AU and closing like a tram beam." "Configuration?"